Wednesday was a national signing day for high school athletes to sign with their colleges. Penn State had a great recruiting class by some regards, others not as good. What's your take on how Penn State did for the upcoming football season for recruits?
Well, quality-wise, it's tough to say because we have to depend on these gurus and these media services, and they vary all over the place. And I'm not sure what to take that. And the other thing is 17-year-old kids. So who knows? You remember when you were 17? Who knows?
I was a 5-star back then.
And look what's happened. Look what's happened. That was totally unfair. I apologize. But as far as quality goes, they got 27 kids. That's a lot, and that shows that they're being aggressive and they're out there. They clearly tried to address a couple of things. It's been a trend in recent years that they've tried to recruit speed and athleticism. I think that has continued, and specific positional needs. 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen are gone. The entire secondary is gone. They're going to lose 3 4-year starters at wide receiver. So you look at this class and you see 7 offensive linemen, 6 defensive backs, 4 wide receivers, plus some other kids who were recruited, like kids who were recruited as linebackers who are probably going to end up being safeties, kids that were recruited as an athlete who are going to end up being receivers or defensive backs. So really, if you look at this class of 27, about 20 of them are kids that are going to have a chance to compete for jobs next year. I think really, they clearly were looking for some short-term help.
Interesting. You've got a list here in front of you. Give me some names, some guys who are going to make an impact right away that we should be watching for next season.
Well, the first one is going to have to be Kevin Newsom, the quarterback from Virginia. Very similar to Darryl Clark. Same body type, same kind of athlete, same kind of quarterback. He'll be able to run and throw. And with Pat Devlin transferring, Penn State really doesn't have an obvious second-string or third-string quarterback. So it's not going to be this, probably not going to be this deal where Newsom is going to be able to redshirt and kind of gradually work his way in. He's going to almost have to be fast-tracked, I would think. Mm-hmm. And who knows how that's going to go because the quarterback is kind of a unique situation. Other kids who will be able to play right away in the secondary, a kid named Darrell Givens from Maryland, a cornerback who really is a pure corner and might be able to step in and play a position that Penn State's pretty weak at, actually. And another one is Gerald Hodges from New Jersey, very highly recruited kid, linebacker safety type who could really fit in at that strong safety, what Penn State calls the hero position. These are kids who I think can maybe play right away.
Another name is Justin Brown, receiver, 6'3", about 220 pounds, out of Wilmington, Delaware. I look at him to be the guy that replaces Chris Bell, who was kicked off the team prior to last season. A big receiver who can still stretch the field. And that's what they really need out there. Bell could do that. Unfortunately, he was sort of
he was a ne'er-do-well.
Oh, big word. I like
A.K.A. a criminal.
Yes, he did some bad things.
So that was a problem. Let's hope that Justin is not a criminal.
If you haven't seen the highlights on Newsom yet, go to YouTube. This guy looks like a phenomenal athlete. And not a bad quarterback. He's got an arm, too. I mean,
strong arm,
stuff.
Can run.
Hitch in his throw. The hitch. Give me a break,
yeah.
Right?
Well, Kerry Collins had a hitch.
He's been around for 14 years in the NFL, folks.
Take that with a grain of salt.
I also think by getting Newsom in here, which is a very similar quarterback, as you're telling me, to Clark, that says Penn State's going to stay with this spread offense a little bit longer. This wasn't just a one-trick pony.
That's a very good point. And also, Newsom is already enrolled up there, so he will get spring practice, and he will get a little bit of a leg up. And he is really a guy who already has some pressure on him from Penn State fans because he's got to come in and do something right away.
I've read about this Devon Smith, as I say his name, 5'7", maybe 140 pounds, but the guy can fly. How fast is he?
Well, he did a handheld 40 time of 4.19, which is almost like you got to be rocket fueled to do that. And really, he's a 4.3, something like that. He's just unbelievably fast. 140 pounds, though.
You got to catch him to hurt him, though.
There you go.